given her a doctorate degree. Carla is going to be joining us in just a few minutes. I just got a text from her.
Okay, we're live.
All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I understand we are live on YouTube and Facebook now. So thank you all for joining us. This is our Fresno City College Student Open Forum. Last week, we held an open forum for everybody, community and faculty and students. And today's meeting is going to be just for students. Students, as you know, we have undergone a huge migration to remote learning. So first and foremost, I want to thank you for your tremendous resilience that you have shown over the last few weeks. There's a lot of change that we're all dealing with, and not only at school, but at home too. So we understand that and we realize that, and I know you have a lot of questions. So today's forum is just for you. We tried to answer a lot of them last week. I think today you're going to find a lot of your questions are answered as we go through our website again to show you where the resources are, but also to show you, to answer some specific questions. So again, I want to thank each and every one of you. Today joining me on the call or on the Zoom meeting is our same people who joined me last week. We have our ASG president, Deron Walker. We have Carla Kirk, our academic senate president. Vice President of Student Services, Lataria Hall, will be joining us. And of course, Vice President Don Lopez will be here as well, answering all of your questions. And I'm going to answer some questions today, and then I'll end up with the questions. You may see me looking down occasionally because I'm looking down for some live questions, as well as the questions that we received over the last few days. I want to thank each and every one of you for answering our call to send us your questions. We had over 300 questions, and many of them are kind of grouped together in specific categories that we're going to address today. So again, I want to thank everybody. Last week was our humanitarian week. Faculty, thank you for reaching out and touching, giving phone calls and sending emails and checking in with your students. Students, thank you for reaching out to your fellow students and making sure they're on Canvas, reminding people to check their email, reminding them to stay engaged in school. And I'm just really grateful. And I want to give you a couple more updates from some things that'll impact students. Chevron, one of our partners, has donated a sizable amount of money for us to help some of our science students because they had some very specific needs with access and labs. So we're helping those students. So we're very thankful for our Chevron partners. We also have an anonymous donor in the city of Fresno. This man has a tremendous heart for foster youth, of which we have close to 600 foster youth students attending Fresno City College. I want to share with all of you this gentleman went out and secured us 200 iPads that we will be making out for loans for use for our foster youth. I also want to thank our board and for our district office for helping expedite a number of requisitions as we went out and purchased an additional 1,000 iPads for general use, and we've purchased several hundred Wi-Fi hotspots. I need to remind students this is not for an upgrade in your technology, but these are designed for students who are in desperate need and don't have access. So we are working on that. Yeah, somebody just emailed me right now and said, was that 200 iPads for foster youth? Yes, that is due to an incredible gift of a community member who loves Fresno City College and sees the promise in our students. So we're really grateful for that individual. Also, many of you may have seen on our website and on social media that College Futures, that is a group of philanthropic groups throughout the state, have come together to put together a scholarship for $500 for students. I'm asking all of you to go to our website. I know the first day it was released, which was yesterday, there were so many interested people that the website actually got crashed. So please continue to see our social media links as well as the College Future links. Continue to be patient and try to get in to access those services through the College Future Scholarship. Again, $500 for each student. I know they're working to find additional funds for that, as I know those funds will probably go by quickly. But for any philanthropic people who may be listening, we're still taking donations and making sure we get them out to our students. So I hope if you own a business or if you are interested in donating, please see our website or contact me and we'll put you in touch with people. Also, I'd like to thank the Fresno Bee for allowing me to have a platform along with Senator Borges and Assemblymember Joaquin Arambla. We had an opportunity last night. It's still recorded, so you can see it there. Talks about how so many of us in education are working together with our legislators and health professionals to keep you safe during this migration. Fresno State and UC and all of our CSU systems are working with the community colleges up and down the state to try to determine how do we encourage and keep students engaged in their learning, and how do we make sure they continue and graduate and go to the CSU and UC. So I know Dr. Hall is going to be talking a little bit more about that, but I do want to share with all of you that the CSU and UC is now accepting both from community colleges as well as our high school partners pass grade, even for the Golden Four, and that has never been done before. And students, I think that just needs to resonate with you that the UC system and the CSU system is looking at grading and looking at their admission processes with the utmost flexibility, because they realize we are living in the middle of a pandemic and a national emergency. And while that is a stressful time for all of us, we all understand the importance of you continuing in education. Many of you may have heard, or you may have brothers and sisters, or you may even have children who are attending some of our K-12 schools. You saw yesterday that there was a bold step by the state superintendent of schools to talk about school is not physically open at our K-12 schools, but online learning continues. And so many of you may be finding yourself now a homeschool teacher in addition to being a student. We understand that stress. That's why some of the things that we're doing are continuing to evolve to help meet you where you're at. That's why we've extended the date to drop. And Dr. Hall is going to be talking about dropping with the EW, so it doesn't hurt your academic scores if you need to drop. But right now, our message to you is clear. And this is the message that Chancellor Eli Oakley, who is our state chancellor, and our local chancellor, Dr. Paul Purnell, have all echoed. We want you to stay in school. Continue with us. Give us a little grace. Give yourself some grace, because we need you to continue in your education, because once we come out of this pandemic, we need to make sure our community is strong and able to take the jobs that are going to be needed. So I know many of you may be stressed because right now you're looking at unemployment. So Dr. Hall is going to talk a little bit about how you talk with your counselors. Our counselors are still working here for you. Our health services are open by appointment. Our psych services are open by teleconference and Zoom conference. If you're feeling stressed or you're feeling like you just need to talk to somebody, we're here. Fresno City College cares about you. I want you to reach out to your fellow students, reach out to your teacher, talk to your counselor. Our psych services is open. And if you feel like you can't talk to somebody of the 800, close to 900 faculty members we have here, or the over 1,200 classified professionals, I want you to urge you to reach out, use your phone, and dial 211. 211 is the informational line that the United Way is manning. We're really grateful for the United Way, and there you can get reliable information about community resources as well as state resources. You know, a few weeks ago when we came together, I shared with you the importance that I know all of you have learned from your faculty is about reliable sources of information. That's why it's important to continue to go to reliable sources of information, such as the Fresno City College website for information about, are we graduating? What's happening to my class? Are we online? Are we not online? All of the questions that we're going to go over today will also be found and are found now on our website. Also, when you're getting your health information, while I like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, go to the source. Go to the California Department of Public Health or go to the National CDC to get your information. Because in the coming weeks, we're going to hear more and more about safety protocols that we need to follow. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the questions that I got now. One of the biggest questions that all of you have is about graduation. And graduation for all of us is our favorite time of year. And all of you have worked hard who are ready to graduate and go on to the CSU and four-year university, as well as going out into the workforce. So let me tell you what we're doing. We're staying open and online and doing remote learning so you can matriculate to the next level. Our CSU partners and our UC partners, as well as our private colleges, are looking at how they can be more flexible to make sure they can continue your education. So that means you're going to complete your semester. We want you to stay engaged and complete. But Dr. Goldsmith, what about Selland Arena? What about the graduation? Well, I'm sure all of you have seen in the news that we are in a shelter-in-place environment. In fact, some of you may have read the news today in the Fresno Bee that Selland Arena is looking at being converted to a 250-bed hospital so we can deal with the coronavirus. I want to let you kind of let that sit for a minute. Selland Arena is going to be transformed into phase 1 hospital to be able to treat COVID-19. So our graduation is not going to be occurring at Selland Arena. I do want to celebrate our students because your achievements, especially now more than ever, going through this, we need to come together and celebrate. It's going to look different. And so Deron Walker and many other students, as well as the faculty and Dean Henderson and our PIO, Chris Monahan-Burmer, we're coming together and we're working with other schools to see what they're doing to use some sort of virtual remote celebration. And I know many of you are heartbroken about that because you do want to come together and celebrate. So let me tell you this. While we're postponing our graduation in May, we're going to continue with your ongoing education. We are going to do something online, virtual remote celebration. But when it becomes safe in the fall, and we get the all clear from our health professionals, we'll look at how we can have some other type of celebration as well. Now, it probably won't be a graduation at Selland Arena because the reality is many of you will be gone to the next phase. But we will come together and have another celebration once we get the all clear. But I think it's important for us, especially at the end of this semester, to come together and celebrate your victory, your success. So we're going to do that. We're still listening to you to figure out how we're going to do that. Much of what you're hearing today is all subject to change because this is an evolving situation. But what does not change is our desire to celebrate your success and your achievements. We're incredibly proud of you, and we love each and every single one of you. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the questions that I got. One of the questions was about, are we coming back for summer? The answer is yes. In fact, we're enrolling now for summer. Oh, it looks like I might have just been lost on my Zoom, so I'm going to keep talking. While I'm trying to load back on, I'm going to connect back remotely. So summer education will continue, and we had previously thought that our summer was going to be mostly online. Well, that hasn't changed. Our classes will be online for the summer, and we will continue to have those programs. So for some of the programs that maybe needed to meet face-to-face, we're doing everything we can and working with our faculty to come up with new and innovative ways to make sure we can meet those requirements. I'll give you an example. Our nursing program right now is still working with the Board of Registered Nursing to be able to connect and continue those classes. In fact, we are planning to have a normal fall, and we hope we can have a normal fall. I will tell you that our nursing faculty have come together, and they have worked towards doing our fall lottery, and we are hopeful that we will have it. Now, I used to be a Girl Scout, and my mom and dad always told me it's good to have a plan B. So our faculty leadership, along with the leadership at Fresno City College, we have really worked about what do we do if we still have to be remote learning in the fall. We hope that doesn't happen, but we are planning for that just in case, because we want to be prepared. Just like all of you need to be prepared for how do we meet this pandemic head on? Well, we do so by staying calm, being compassionate, being caring, and being thoughtful about how we can continue with our daily lives in this new remote reality we find ourselves in. So we're going to continue to do that, and we're going to continue to have our face-to-face fall. We're enrolling April 15th. Starting April 6th, you'll be contacted by your counselor if you're an existing student, and we'll open up the enrollment on April 15th. We're enrolling now for summer. Our message to you is to stay engaged, keep online, keep communicating, and have a little grace with us. Well, another question that I got was from Beatrice and some of her colleagues at Design Science wanting to know, hey, when is Design Science going to come back? Well, Design Science will come back when it's safe for all of us to come back. We've been in constant contact with Superintendent Nelson and Principal Teresa Overstreet to see when is it safe for us to have our Design Science middle college, high school students come back onto campus. So when our public health officials tell us it's safe and we get the green light from everybody, we will start back up. In the meantime, you Design Science students out there who are listening, please continue to work with your Fresno City College faculty as well as your faculty from Design Science and keep learning. All right. I had another question. This one's from Ku. He wanted to know about sanitation efforts. What are we doing to keep the sanitation efforts going on at the school? Because some of us are going to pick up our Wi-Fi spots and our laptops. Well, I'm happy to tell you that the Fresno City College custodians and our maintenance folks at the district are continuing to provide services and continuing to provide service to keep our school sanitized. What that means is that they're following all the protocols and precautions to use disinfectant and sanitation, and they are cleaning our areas very vigorously each and every day. And some of the areas that we're not using, they're sealing those off so we know that they've been sanitized, and they will continue to be sanitized as we move forward. So thank you, Ku, and a few other people who asked that question. I really appreciate that. I think that was a great question. I had another question by Haven and a few others asking about the bus pass program. What happened with the bus pass program? Well, you may remember before our pandemic that we were working with our district to try to find a solution because the funding had been allocated elsewhere. Well, since this pandemic, this particular topic has taken a back seat, but you have my word that I will continue to meet with our other presidents in the district as well as our chancellor, and I won't let this subject go by the wayside. At the first board meeting in March before the pandemic, our board expressed their interest to make sure we continue this program, and there still continues to be interest in doing so. I think we have a number of solutions that we can move forward, and we will move forward to find solutions for that bus pass program. Now, I know many of you probably aren't using the bus as much as you had because we're all online, but I want to let you know that that project has not moved off our radar screen, and once we get back to normal, we will have the solution in place. So the other question that I've seen some about deals with allied health. How are the allied health students continuing in this environment? Oh, I'm back. Well, I want to take a special moment to thank all of our first responder students. That is our police and fire students, as well as our nursing students. I'm back. I had some Wi-Fi problems, so I'm glad to see you all again. Our nursing students continue to do their education via online. And as you know, many of the hospitals now have stopped taking our students because they're addressing a national pandemic crisis with increased cases. So the California governor, excuse me, I think I just lost my Wi-Fi again. The California governor has created what they call the California Healthcare Corps. And many of our students may be signing up for that to offer their services. We're working with the Board of Registered Nursing now to make sure that if they do this type of service, that it will be counted towards their hours. We have 110 students who are getting ready to graduate from that program, and we're doing everything we can to make sure they do graduate on time. In fact, I want to thank the nursing director, Pam Vogel, and Lorraine Smith, and all of the faculty and many of our local legislators who've worked tirelessly to advocate that the BRN continue to use simulation and hi-fi definition of simulation so our students can finish. Those 110 students need to graduate, and they want to get out on the front lines and protect us and keep us healthy from COVID-19. So all those nursing students out there, thank you for your service. We also know we have 110 students behind them who are getting ready to graduate in December. It is our plan to continue to work with them so we can, in fact, graduate them. So more on that as we continue to move forward. So with that, I'm going to pause and I'm going to introduce Lataria Hall. Dr. Hall is our Vice President of Student Services. She's going to give you more information about some of the specifics, and then you're going to hear more of your questions answered from her, and then Vice President Lopez will follow her, and then WAS will hear from Carla Kirk, and of course our own Student Body President, Duran Walker. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for your continued patience. And next up is Dr. Hall.
Thank you, Dr. Goldsmith. Good afternoon, students. I hope all is going well with you at home as we live through this pandemic situation and be on shelter in place. I hope you're managing to find some fun in all of this. On March 13th, we stated that all essential student services were going to remain open, but we would begin to plan for providing services in an online platform for continued support. We've been extremely busy as a college from institutional services to student services to student support services, which covers tutorial and business services to make things happen for you. Some of our services that have gone online are at our admissions and records, financial aid, counseling, library support services, including tutorial, EOPS, DSPS, CalWorks, veterans, TRIO, psych services, as well as health services online. I know you may be wondering or asking yourself how you all will be supported in this whole new world of online. And I hope my message, as well as answers to the specific questions that you have submitted, give you hope. We're working to provide those of you who lack access to technology, the equipment and services needed to succeed in your online classes. To accomplish this, we're reaching out to many of you through our student success teams to identify who may need technology assistance. So some of you may have already received telephone calls from counselors asking you, how you are accessing your online classes. Those of you who have been identified as needing technology are contacted by library staff for an appointment to check out a laptop or tablet. However, those of you who have not been contacted, you may go to our library webpage and request a laptop, a tablet, Wi-Fi hotspot, or graphing calculator on the FCC's library webpage. You are allowed to check out any of the technology for the remainder of the semester. In addition, there will be emergency grants available through financial aid to assist with technological needs as well. Details on how to apply for this will be coming a little bit later. To support you in the classroom, the library has online services that will include live webinars on how to use EBSCOhost and advanced searching in Google, personal research assistance, access to thousands of e-resources and reserve materials, and a live chat box. You can access all of these resources from the main library page on the FCC website. ETC, PASS, English Center, Math Center, Writing and Reading Center, and drop-in tutorial services have also moved online for you. The best way to find these services is through your Canvas classroom. The left-hand navigation bar has a link for online tutoring. When you click on that link, you are taken to the Student Success Center course, where you will find the links to each program's online services. You also have access to NetTutor 24/7, which is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So those of you who are night owls and like to do your work and need some help, that service should be available to you. You will also find this link on the Canvas page as well. Online counseling and counseling appointments are being offered to you through chat with a counselor and can also be accessed from the FCC counseling webpage. Counseling appointments with your student success team, transfer, or special program are also offered to students via Zoom, Zoom telephone, or Zoom video, and just through a telephone. Those of you who are in special programs such as DSPS, EOPS, Veterans, CalWorks, or TRIO, we continue to offer those services as well without interruption. Please visit the webpage for each of those programs for more information. You're also able to email questions to counseling@fresnocitycollege.edu. Again, that's at counseling@fresnocitycollege.edu. I'm going to talk a little bit about financial aid. Many of you may already be aware that the federal government passed a $2 trillion COVID-19 relief package, also known as the CARES Act. Rough estimates indicate that Fresno City College will receive approximately $5 million in emergency grant funds to assist students impacted by COVID-19. We are waiting for guidance on student eligibility, award amounts, awarding process. As soon as we receive this guidance, it will be posted on our Fresno City College financial aid webpage. So please stay tuned and keep your eye open for that. Yesterday, we posted on our Facebook and on the Fresno City College financial aid webpage information about a $500 emergency grant funded by Mission Asset Fund. It was widely publicized, and they have already reached the maximum number of students they are able to support and are no longer accepting applications. For any student or student parents who have experienced a loss in income due to being laid off or terminated, the financial aid office is here to offer their assistance. Please contact their office at area code 559-442-8245 to learn more about the process. Again, if your parents have been laid off or you have been laid off, our financial aid office is here to help. You can reach them at area code 559-442-8245, and there are people available to take your call. If you have other financial aid related questions, they are available to help you through these challenging times as well. You can also reach them at the same phone number, or you can email them at financialaidoffice at fresnocitycollege.edu. Again, that's financial aid office at fresnocitycollege.edu, or you can fax them at 559-499-6024. Now, I know that many of you are concerned about your grades or not doing well and how that will affect transfer, GPA, financial aid, academic progress. Regulations have passed to allow us to be a little more flexible. You will have until May 8th to request a pass, no pass, as opposed to a letter grade. In addition, we have extended the drop date to May 15th. You will be able to drop for extenuating circumstances until this time with an EW. With the EW, the extenuating circumstances, this mark does not impact your grade point average, academic probation, or dismissal, or the ability to repeat a class. So I know there were many questions that came through on how my grade will be impacted. If you are experiencing extenuating circumstances due to the COVID-19 and it has impacted your grade, you will have the option to drop with an EW and it will not affect your GPA again, your financial aid, or satisfactory academic progress. You can visit our webpage under student resources on how to drop a class. Now, I do want to say this. I understand, as the rest of our campus administrators, your faculty, even your peers, we understand, we get it. We know that you all are struggling. I have 2 kids of my own that are also in college, and so I see the uneasiness. We are doing everything possible within our ability to ease this transition for you all and support you. Your instructors are also aware. So those of you who may still be a little uneasy about taking an online class, please let us try to help you first. Do not withdraw from your classes. You have time. That's why that date has been extended. Reach out to your counselors. Reach out to your instructors. Give them an opportunity to help you. Let us help you first. If you have pursued additional support and you still need to withdraw, well, those options are still available. I want you to just make sure that you stay healthy, stay tuned, continue to check your email, look for things from us. We're here for you, and we're going to do everything to make sure that you are successful, because when you are successful, we are successful. Now with that, I'll answer a couple of questions, additional questions that I've seen come through. I know Leah asked about what if we cannot pass our classes this semester due to COVID-19. Well, I mentioned some of that in my speech where I was just talking. There are options available for you. You have until May 15th to request an EW and not have it affect your GPA. Let's see. There was a DSPS student. This is from Alan. I'm a disability student and I'm currently in my English 1A class with a support class. Due to this COVID-19, our class turned into an online class. I'm struggling very miserably and online pass isn't helping at all. I am more of a hands-on learner. I have to be in a classroom setting. I am failing my class. Is there anything you can do that won't count against me? I would like to take this class at a later time when all this epidemic is past. DSPS. Well, Alan, I understand. We don't know when this pandemic is going to pass. So right now we are just trying to make sure that you have the resources needed to be successful. Our DSPS counselors are still available. They are still making sure that our students have accommodations. They're still advocating on your behalf with your instructors to make sure that the accommodations that have been granted are being supported and acknowledged in the online format. There is tutorial services still. If you're having a problem with it, reach out to your counselor, whoever that counselor may be, through DSPS. They too are available online, and let them work with you to see what other types of supports that you may need, and let them reevaluate some of the challenges that you may be having that are related to your disability. And perhaps they can provide additional assistive technology that can support you during this time. There was another question from Bobby related to international students. Are you planning on giving some relief, like for their tuition fee to international students, as the economy is in all bad parts of the world? Bobby, I know that you all have a big investment into your education here in the United States and at Fresno City College. And I want to assure you that we are working diligently with our business services office and also with our vice president's group. We are looking at different types of options out there to support you all. So stay tuned for that, as well as more information comes for you all. With that, I believe that I have covered everything that has been asked related to drops and technology, anxiety, which is our psych services online. I know Dr. Goldsmith spoke some about that. If you have anxiety, our psychologists are still available through teletherapy. You can contact the phone number and reach out to them. You can also visit our webpage. There's different tools and resources on there that's available to you. So now I will turn things over to our Vice President of Instruction, Don Lopez.
Thank you, Dr. Hall. Don, are you on the line?
I am. I was trying to stop the share there for you. So good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Hall. Thank you, Dr. Goldsmith. So I am going to jump right into some of the questions that have been asked. Some of these have been addressed by Dr. Goldsmith already. Others are more specific in nature, and I will try to answer some general questions that have come. We've gotten several questions from students related to the issue of courses being canceled or suspended for those that have lab components that are required. There was a question from Donna about the police academy starting back up, and will it resume courses on campus? We recently finished the, I believe, 158th academy this past week, where we had students on campus to finish up. They were utilizing social distancing. We were making sure to manage access to various resources. We were cleaning and sanitizing on a everyday basis for those areas, taking every precaution that we can. We do feel like we will have some ability this summer to be able to begin some courses. We'll take these on a case-by-case basis. We will follow protocols that have been established for us, and we will try to allow some students to be able to finish some very specific kinds of programs. Along the same line, I got questions from students who are concerned about work experience components of courses. In most cases, we are going to suspend those classes, not cancel them, but suspend the portion of the class associated with the hours that are needed. There are various programs that have internship programs for the number of hours that are needed. And what we're going to do is try to suspend those until the end of the semester. And then hopefully sometime this summer or potentially in the fall, we would come back and allow students to complete those hours and then receive their grades. If you have specific questions about your program, You can speak to your faculty member, or you can speak to the dean for that particular division. They'd be willing to talk with you about how this will work. I got a question about nursing programs. Nursing programs are, as Dr. Goldsmith has mentioned, we are allowing some of our programs to continue. Again, it's on a case-by-case basis. For those students who are in nursing programs now and need to finish up hours, again, we are working with our community partners to try to assure that hours are being are met for your clinicals. We are working with the BRN and, like I said, the local hospitals to be able to try to resolve these problems. If you have a specific question, you need to reach out to the counselor for the allied health area and ask them specific questions about how we're going to accommodate this. Let me see. We got a question from Geron regarding projects and equipment from the art printing studio. We will allow students to return to campus to pick up equipment, but it must be scheduled. You can work with your faculty member or with the division dean and set up a time so that we can ensure that, again, we're meeting these requirements for the social distancing. We can allow students to come in, pick up their materials, and then go off campus. Please don't just show up and think you're going to be able to get into your locker and retrieve the materials. Let's see, a couple more. There was a question that someone asked about requirements of a webcam. Webcams are not necessary. They're not mandatory for you to be taking an online class. I think it might help you to be able to, again, work through that class, see information, have a face-to-face, more like an office hour with your faculty member, but it isn't mandatory, it isn't necessary. If you don't have equipment that for you to be able to take a class in an online environment, as Dr. Hall mentioned, we do have some materials, equipment that is available to you through the library, laptops, iPads. We probably could find some webcams as well, along with MiFis to allow you to have internet access, for instance. Let me see, just a couple of more. Lots of questions about summer classes and online. And as Dr. Goldsmith mentioned, the majority of what we're going to do is going to be in an online environment, specifically for the summertime and potentially into the fall. We are working diligently to train faculty to be able to provide remote instruction this summer. Again, excuse me, for those who need face-to-face classes, again, on a case-by-case basis, we will work to make sure that you're getting that time for you to complete that particular course. If you're not sure or need additional information, I suggest you contact the faculty member for that particular class, or in this case, if you're not sure who the faculty member is, contact the division dean. And I think those are all of the ones that I had, Dr. Goldsmith. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Don, for sharing that information. And of course, all the work that you do in instruction. I want to thank all the deans for working together very collaboratively together. And I also want to thank Carla Kirk, who's going to be coming up here in just a moment. For those of you who were on the call last week or on the video podcast, whatever we're calling these new ways of communicating, Carla Kirk is the Academic Senate President for Fresno City College, and she has been working tirelessly with over 900 faculty trying to get you the tools and help faculty get online and help students get online. And she's joining us today again to kind of share the faculty perspective. And I'm so glad she's here. Carla, I'm glad I get to work with you. So Carla Kirk, you're up next.
Thank you very much, Dr. Goldsmith. Thank you all for joining us today. Thank you, Amy, for doing such an awesome job translating for us today. I will try to talk slow because I get nervous when I'm on camera and I tend to talk fast. So good afternoon, Rams. I am so glad to have the opportunity to come and talk to you today on behalf of the faculty of Fresno City College. We have been working tirelessly to try our best to offer you continuity in your education. We know that your education is important to you. It's important to us too. That's why we're here. That's why we do what we do. We know this transition has been difficult for you. It has been difficult for all of us. We hear you. We hear the concerns that you are having, and we are working to try to find answers for you, to find solutions for you. This is our biggest concern. We come here to teach, and when we can't do that, we're getting to the point where we're kind of frantic. I'm getting to the point where we're kind of frantic, where we know that we are not being able to connect with you the way that we want to. We know that you have concerns about taking classes in this type of setting where that's not what you signed up for. That's not what you have experience for. That's not what you have technology for. We hear you. We do hear you. And we understand, and we want to be here for you. So I ask you to understand that for some of us, for some of our faculty, this is new technology for us as well. This is new methodologies for us as well. We want to meet you where you are and make sure that we are valuing your education like you value your education. So I want to move on and give you all some information. I know this is valuable, your time that you're spending with us right now. So I do want to get some information to you about how to engage with your class and how to get in contact with your instructor. Canvas does remain the best way for us to get in contact with you and for you to get in contact with us. If you have not heard from your instructor, if you have not heard from them by this time, please contact the division dean. You can get to the division dean by going to our website. On the quick links on the side has a faculty directory. Look up your faculty's name. It will tell you what division that faculty person is in. Our deans are working. Our staff is working. They are monitoring the emails. Please reach out to them and let them know if you are having a difficult time contacting your instructor. I have been looking at some of your questions, and while I understand there are two camps out there with our students, there are students who are looking to this educational experience as a form of normalcy in their life, as something, a goal that you know that you're so close to achieving here at the end of the semester, that you want to just keep going. You want to stay on track. You want to stay engaged. You want to maintain some type of normalcy. We are working to provide that for you. We are not trying to fail you. That is not our goal. We want to continue your education the best that we can this semester. And for those students who want to be engaged, that is what we are trying to provide for you. We also understand that for some students, this is the very last thing on your mind. And what you want to do is make sure that you can get out of this semester without any negative impact to your finances, to your standing on campus. We understand that too. And we have something in place to allow you to withdraw from this if it's not what you can do. So we know both situations. We hear both of those, and we want to provide answers for you. For those who want to stay in, please stay in. Please stay engaged with us. We want to connect with you and help you be successful this semester. For those of you who are overwhelmed with this very difficult situation, we understand that too. And we're going to give you the opportunity to get past this without any negative impact to your standing for this semester. I have been getting some questions, or we've been getting some questions about the bookstore. If you have ordered books for classes over the summer that you were enrolled in, or looking forward to the fall, our bookstore Follett does offer free delivery to your home so that you can order your books and the books can be delivered to your home. They are also offering free access to ebooks, or not free access, I apologize, access to the ebook at no additional charge if your instructor had put in an order for the physical book and now you're going to be in an online environment. They'll give you that same access. So our bookstore is working with us to make sure that you get the services and the materials that you need for your classes. I've also seen questions about returning your cap and gown. Yes, if you decide that you want to return your cap and gown, you can return that. We will have information. Please don't come to the bookstore. We will have information for you about how to return your cap and gown. As soon as we have that information, we will have more information for you after spring break. And finally, we've had this message before. I keep saying it over and over again. We are encouraging you to stay with us because this journey that we are on, that we got through so much of it before this situation happened, before all of our lives got turned upside down. We want to continue this journey with you. We don't know what this road is going to look like, the peaks and the valleys that we're going to have, or how rocky it's going to be. But we do want to continue this journey with us, and we encourage you to stay with us and engage with us and connect with us and give us this chance to finish off this semester as strongly as we can. We are here. Please reach out to us. If you have questions, we are working on getting the frequently asked questions updated so that we are getting answers to your questions that you can access. So with that, it is always my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce your student body president, Duran Walker. Mr. Walker, are you ready to join us?
Yes. I'm not sure what's going on with my video. Oh, can you guys see me? Hi, everybody. Yeah, so I actually just want to tell everybody, man, don't give up. I was hearing Miss Dr. Hall speaking earlier about this. It's something that we don't even know if it's going to end. You know, as I said last week in the live video, you know, if you go to spring break, don't, you know, plan on going out because you just might actually get quarantined there, and it will actually help lower this spike because we're getting a lot of people having a lot more cases. If we stay home more often, then there's a chance that we could go to school next fall. But as Dr. Hall said, we don't even know if we'll return next fall. So just, you know, keep up on your best behavior, staying at home. I was looking at a lot of the questions on the YouTube live broadcast. I've seen there's just a tremendous amount of comments. I wanted to answer them all, but there's either other students helping each other out answering, and that's what we should do. You know, we're in this together. We all should just come together, start a group. I was actually planning on starting, if you guys didn't know about the FCC Rockin' Rams, I was doing that almost every Wednesday where we go out and perform and have other students come out and show their FCC talent. I was hoping we could establish something that through Zoom. I'll do it right here from my house. I got instruments, you know, set up, ready to go ahead and perform, and you guys can jump on to perform with me so we can still collaborate with each other, because I think that's the best thing for us right now is to come together and collaborate with each other as much as we possibly can and help us get through all this. You know, I'm here for you. Like I said, I left a message in the YouTube notes or comments. My name is DE Space Walker on Facebook. Go ahead and just add me and flood me with as many questions as you guys got. I work really close with the district and all the faculty and staff, and I from what I've seen, I believe they are here for your best interest. This is just as new to them as it is to you guys, and they've been working hard every day trying to make sure that they get this all figured out for you, and they'll still be working through their spring break. They won't actually get a spring break because they're still trying to figure this all out. This is a big issue worldwide, and hopefully you guys can help us out by staying home and being safe. And I want to go ahead and welcome back our president, Miss Kara Goldsmith. or Doctor.
Thank you, Duran. Thank you so much. And I just want to encourage everybody again, while Duran said, the future is unsure, for sure. Even on a good day, the future is unsure. But one thing we know is that when we come together, we're better. I think what you've heard today is that Fresno City College cares. That's your student body president cares, your faculty care. We have health services by appointment. We have psych services by telephone conference and Zoom. We're trying to figure this out together. We're planning for an online summer, but we were planning for an online summer before this pandemic. Our fall, we're going to start enrolling April 15th. We're planning on a face-to-face. We're hoping that that's going to come true. And, we think if we all do our part, like Duran said, and stay home, we can flatten the curve and maybe we'll get the green light. But being a good Girl Scout, we are going to plan for what if we are online? Well, either way, Fresno City College has been here for 100 years. We're going to be here for another 100, serving your needs. In fact, while we have had this call today, I got some good news from the State Center Community College Foundation that they've pulled together and got us another $40,000 that we are going to use for MiFi Wi-Fi devices. I've shared a little bit with you about the number of devices we've given out. We've given out a lot through our loaner program, but we know that Wi-Fi continues to be an issue. It's an issue everywhere. But the State Center Community College Foundation and their board members allowed us to be able to grant us $40,000 to get some additional Wi-Fi. So what does that mean? Probably about 125, 150 of those devices for loaning. So we're continuing to work together. The community is pulling together. Some of our faculty are working together with our students at CTEC and their faculty of creating face shields and masks, 3D printing masks for our students. I'm humbled by that. And I think there is a silver lining in this pandemic. We're seeing people work together like never before. Duran talked about how can we as students and faculty come together and connect. I want to give a shout out to the Fresno City College volleyball team. I don't know if you follow them on Facebook or Instagram, but they have a great video out there. And I just want to thank the volleyball players and their coach for brightening my day a little bit by seeing how Fresno City College cares in your video. I thought that was amazing. Everybody's talked a little bit about spring break. Our city is asking that all non-essential workers stay home. Please stay home. You saw what happened to those spring breakers who went to Florida a few weeks back. Many of them are in quarantine now and have gotten other people sick. Don't be like that. We need you here. We need you healthy. We need you safe. We care about you and we want you to continue. So we're going to continue to have these conversations probably once a week as we continue through this. We know that right now, I just got a text that the CDC website is asking people to wear masks as we move forward. So this continues to be an evolving situation. So I would ask all of you if you have the types of masks, and I'll let you know, Fresno City College, we've donated a lot of our masks that we used for like our automotive program and some of our other programs because we had kind of a good supply and inventory. We've given that to our hospital workers. So as you're seeing right now, as I'm seeing, the CDC now has new guidance for us as when you do go out to wear CDC masks. What they mean is the masks that are not the ones for the hospital. We don't want to take those off the market because hospitals need them. So these are some of the cloth masks that you've seen on social media and how you make them. I would encourage all of you to please read the instructions about how you can go about doing that, because you want to make sure that you're not going to contaminate yourself by using masks inappropriately. So once again, knowledge is power. Go to the CDC website. They'll give you instructions on how to do that. Continue to use universal precautions. That means wash your hands often with soap and water. Disinfect your surfaces at home with soap and water or any sort of cleaning supply. I know that a lot of supplies are running low, but soap and water is still abundant and is a wonderful disinfectant. So please continue to go to our website for the information that you want to get about your college education. Go to the CDC for the website to get information about your health. So we're getting ready to go to spring break. For many of you, this is a religious time of year as well. For all of us, I think it's a time that we reflect and hope and keep each other safe. So on behalf of everybody at Fresno City College and everybody throughout the district, I wish you all a healthy and safe spring break. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Wash your hands a lot. Stay engaged. Have a little compassion with us. We're having compassion with you. Take care. We'll see you in about a week. Thanks, everybody.